All right, everyone, welcome back. Today, I am going over my reasons for why I chose to join the United States Air Force. First off, I want to go back to explain a little bit of backstory and my family's military history and why that influenced me to join the United States military to begin with. Now, going back, both my grandparents were in the United States military. My grandfather on my dad's side was in the United States Army, and my grandfather on my mom's side was in the United States Navy. Now, my grandfather on my dad's side served during World War II, served in the Philippines, was in the United States Army Reserve for many years. Even after his active duty was over, my dad can still tell me stories about him remembering my grandfather having to leave for his monthly military meetings for the reserves. Now, his final rank was a lieutenant colonel of the United States Army. Now, my grandfather on my mom's side was in the United States Navy. He was an aviation technician, and he worked around radios. He didn't work directly on radios in the radio rooms, but he was always in the radio rooms seeing how everything worked. Now, his final rank was a petty officer first class. Now, having both of them serve in the United States military definitely gave me a boost saying, hey, it's in my family, both my grandfathers served, why not me? And so that influenced me from a very young age. Now, fast forward a couple of generations, not my dad's generation, but my oldest brother, who was born in 1989, he served in the United States Navy as well. He served on submarines in the nuke program. Like, he was insane. He is insanely smart. And he was on the USS Montpelier for a couple of years in Norfolk, Virginia. His final rank was Petty Officer Second Class, that is E5. Now, I remember writing letters to him when I was in elementary school saying, hey, hope you're doing well, thank you for your service, stuff like that. Not really knowing the impact that it really had and how he was really keeping our nation safe wherever he was stationed. So when I got older, started really realizing, what he was actually doing and, hearing all of his stories and all that, that gave me an extra boost to join the military. Now, last but not least, my family military history goes to my dad's cousin, Brian Cowdery. Now, he was on a rescue team in Afghanistan during Operation Enduring Freedom in 2011, and he was actually killed in action in Afghanistan. And it's because of that reason that I decided not to join the Army, but I'm going to get to that in a few minutes. But just with that, knowing that there's military all around my family really gave me the boost to go into the military in general. And the reason I joined the Air Force specifically, so because of my cousin Brian's death in Afghanistan from the Army, I didn't want to put my family through something like that again. So that nixed the Army. Now we have the Marines. That's kind of the same thing where they're kind of in the line of fire, and I still didn't want to, go through that. I mean, as cool as it would be to probably be a Marine, I wouldn't want to do that. And they also go through a whole lot of extra stuff that the Air Force doesn't. So that nixed that. Next is the Navy. And I mean, the Navy's cool. The Navy's really cool, but the ocean freaks me out. It doesn't totally freak me out, but I would not want to be on the ocean for months upon end and just not be able to do anything, and sleeping on either a submarine, however many miles deep in the ocean, or on a carrier that's basically like being on a cruise ship and rocking back and forth all the freaking time. And I was not about to do that, especially not about to be on a submarine, because my older brother, who was on a submarine, basically told me that when they had evacuation drills, or when he was in training and they had evacuation drills, you pretty much had to be right next to that hatch if you were to get out. If not, it was, because you just weren't, and you didn't have a lot of time to get to that hatch to get out. So that that nixed the Navy for me. Now we're left with the Air Force and the Coast Guard. Now, the Coast Guard, I really wasn't even thinking about, because yes, they are a branch of the United States military, but I wasn't even thinking about them. So we just went straight forward for the Air Force, and I went to my local recruiter, and talked to him, and he was absolutely amazing, and the process was super, super quick, and all the benefits to joining the Air Force with the free education while you're in with the Air Force Community College, the GI Bill once you're out, the travel opportunity, and I know you can get all these with all the other different branches, but like the Air Force just spoke to me, and the process was super easy. The community is fan-flippin-tastic, and yeah, it was just an absolute sell for me. And so I started researching stuff, and my recruiter said, hey, come back, when you're 17 or in high school or whatever. And I'm like, okay. So I started studying stuff, went back, talked to my recruiter when I turned 17, and I enlisted in the United States Air Force. And I have not regretted that decision one bit. It has been absolutely amazing. So if you all enjoyed today's video, if you all found today's video informational, educational, whatever you want to use, make sure to smack that like button. I really appreciate all the support. And if you too are looking to join the Air Force, comment down below. Let me know and I will try to help out any way that I can. So I hope you all enjoyed today's video, and I will see you all in the next one.